Second. Okay. You're good.
In my hometown of Hazelwood at the Jada House International, located here at Second Avenue. So welcome everybody. And to everything doing here. Good, Mr. Cutler, good, you got it, good, you got it.
You can do it. Look for the
I just wanted to say that there is terrible feedback. I think there may be 2 devices on in that room. I don't know.
I think we're good now.
Oh.
We're good now.
Yeah,
Good.
that's better.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Call this order, this meeting to order. Tonight, I recognize, folks that are absent are Mr. Robinson and Mr. Williams. Everybody else is here. And Greg, you are on Zoom, and I think you're the only one on Zoom. First, business is the approval of the June 24th meeting. You received that maybe about a week ago, 10 days ago. Did everybody have a chance to review the meeting minutes? Okay. If so, may I have a motion to approve? Thank you. Second? Thank you. Any changes, additions, deletions? All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Opening remarks. So the outline of the proceedings are the board business followed by case review. And if anybody wants to make an announcement, definitely have a paper. So please sign up. We have about 3 minutes to speak. I have no report tonight, so I would like to turn it over to Executive Director Pittenger for her.
Thank you, Dr. Gershio. Good evening, members. Mr. Cutler, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Hello.
I'm behind here and I just didn't want to, exclude you
There you are.
for my very short report. Our intake thus far this year is 104. And interestingly enough, 12 of them are EDIs. Those are executive director inquiries, the ones that we open, where there has been an incident of some public interest and some public concern, or a question about the outcome of a publicly engagement between an individual and police officers. 12 is a high number for us, but there have been some unusual events. And one event, which was relatively recent, that I feel confident I can speak to you guys about, the numbers, was an incident involving city council a couple weeks ago, and public criticism that there were a number of officers that had responded to council chambers, allegedly because the sergeant at arms was concerned about controlling the individuals who came to council's chamber to present comments to council related to, I believe it was Juneteenth. No, I'm sorry. No, it wasn't. It was the Stop the Violence Fund. And at the time, it was thought that council was actually going to consider eliminating or severely restricting the Stop the Violence Fund. And that wasn't the case at all. But there were 70-some people showed up to present testimony to council to dissuade them from taking a vote that would harm the fund, the Stop the Violence Fund. In the course of that, as they crowded in, The sergeant at arms apparently did reach out to ask for an additional officer to come to assist, to keep council protected. And what had happened was some people had crossed the rope line. At council, when they're at their tables, there's a rope that goes across, and that's supposed to be a secure space for those members, for those electives. And Sergeant at Arms is responsible for that area, for the chambers, and the area immediately outside the chambers. So because of that breach of that area, he did seek another officer, one officer. Unfortunately, when it went out on the air, some sheriff's deputies heard this call for an officer to respond, to assist. And they all came up to council chambers. And there was a whole response that was not requested nor necessary. But in the midst of sorting all of that out, the smoke alarm went off, requiring everyone to evacuate chambers. So we looked into it. I did speak to the sergeant at arms about what had transpired. He relayed what I just reported to you. And with the exception of the fire alarm, he wasn't sure about the circumstances of that, but denies having anything to do with that. We have some witnesses who have indicated that the smoke alarm was triggered by the number of pizzas that were put in the side room for them to eat after the meeting. 10 pizzas. And supposedly those 10 pizzas, they gave off enough particulates in the air to set off, trigger the smoke alarm that required everybody to evacuate. It sounds like it's just a fiasco of circumstances, rather than any intended effort or intention to somehow treat the individuals who came forth to speak to their council members as though they were a threat or they were a danger or anything of that nature. Staff, the office did prepare a summary, but it was too late to come out to you in your packet for this meeting. But it was also something that didn't really have to go much further unless you want to pursue it further. It doesn't seem that there was an intention there to do what originally was alleged in the media, that there, because this was a concern of a number of citizens, and the dominant background of those citizens was African American or brown skin. And as a result, it was assumed that this was because of that they wanted more police, and then they somehow set off an alarm so that people would leave and whatever. It does.
So 10 people could set off an alarm.
I'm not gonna judge.
I've never had a pizza that hot in my life.
My family's eaten many 10 pizzas.
Never set off a fire.
I don't know, I guess you open them all at the same time.
And it wasn't just one individual who relayed that, which they all got their story straight, or I don't know. All I can say is,
Pull the report. No,
no one has otherwise taken ownership of setting a false alarm, nor has there been any indication that somebody was charged with setting a false alarm. There you go.
Cameras in that room?
Well, there are cameras in council chambers, but this was inside
conference. It was in the
room.
conference room.
And they're not on like surveillance or anything, no. So that was a contemporary issue that I think we can put aside, and it was an EDI, so we can consider, I believe, if you're all okay with that, we can just conclude that, close it. The other EDIs, I believe you have, a number are suspended, and you will take advantage of your vacation next month. So when we go back in September, you should see many of those cleared. Many of all the suspended cases, but some of those EDIs too. And with regard to staffing, you will recall at the last meeting, I had asked an investigator, a former investigator, to provide a report related to civil lawsuits that were filed and are required by city code to be reported in the police annual service report. And I had asked that investigator to cross-reference and whatever we could find out related to settlements, if there were judgments, whatever the dollar amounts were, if we could determine that, et cetera. Because I was concerned that we were not, that the publication was not comprehensive and accurate. But I wanted to be sure, and so I asked him to do that. He did begin to revise that report. However, he did resign last Monday. So that revision is not available because it's not complete. And that employee has left. So we now have an investigator position open. And we'll be looking at our options there. Stephanie, did we ever determine if that list is still open
It is open until September.
until September? So the list that we have currently, the civil service list, is what we will return to and see if a candidate is there for that investigator position. We, Solicitor Wright is here with us this evening, and we've had some discussion about, some of the resistance that we've had with the city, which has been traditional. And if we can take a new tact with the current administration. We've attempted to set up a meeting with the city solicitor since February, actively attempted to do this. We have tentative dates, they'd have to be rescheduled. We had originally settled on a meeting for yesterday, July 21st, and that had to be rescheduled. So Solicitor Wright and I will be meeting with city solicitor tentatively next week and be able to report back to you if there's something remarkable. We will notify you by email, otherwise we'll report to you in September. Hopefully we will have had that meeting by then. But it is with regard to the denial of information to our investigators. One aspect, which is the body worn camera, which has been an issue for a long time, but it's a complicated issue. It's not just straightforward. You'll recall that the Office of Municipal Investigations, which is put out as a civilian oversight office, equivalent of internal affairs, that they do receive body worn camera for a long time. One of the workarounds that our staff developed was they could go and they could watch the video there at OMI, with OMI. And that the information that they were privy to was not that which would be involved in an active criminal investigation, therefore not protected by a criminal history record information. And then, boom, that stopped. They weren't allowed to do that anymore. Chiefs, since we're on number 5 now, in the last couple of years, up until now, no, up until the last one, no, the one before that, Chief Scarrato. That's when it stopped. But until then, there was another workaround that our staff were able to go over, make an appointment at headquarters. They could go over and they would be able to see particular video relevant to the investigation that they were conducting at the time. Never given a copy of it, but they were able to observe it and make their notes. That was stopped. Another workaround, which was really remote, but the chief would designate someone to whom our staff could, our investigators could reach out and set up a time where that designee would be looking at the video and answering questions from our investigators as that person was watching the video. So we kind of use that as a quasi witness, but a witness to the video, and that was stopped. Document wise, because OMI now is closing the majority of their cases because through body worn camera observation. There were no Garrity statements being taken, or there are very few, but as a rule, they're not taking statements anymore. You'll recall that under the court order, we were able to obtain those Garrity statements, but they don't have them because they don't exist anymore. So we don't obtain them. We don't have the benefit of that statement. Staff will go to the courts, pull court records, and pull affidavits of probable cause, criminal complaints, and things of that nature, and rely on those statements as the officer's side of the story. In some cases, they do attend court hearings, the trials, so that they can listen to sworn testimony from the officers that are subjects of their investigations. It's become cumbersome, and we would like to streamline it again. I mean, over the years, we've had different agreements with the city through the solicitor's office, city solicitor's office, about our access to information and what we had to do to obtain certain things. There is a standardized form that was developed pursuant to the court order in 2004 that has things we're allowed to get from where we're supposed to get them. And or they complete that information and submit it. And none of them have been coming back with any. So our investigators are pretty frustrated, and Alec and our solicitor, Wright, and I are looking forward to having that conversation with the city solicitor, and hopefully being able to draw up another agreement that may be a legacy agreement for this solicitor. Hopefully it will ease the tensions that the investigators now have.
You think they'll kick that down the can until?
Yes, I do. I hope not. I suppose I should be more optimistic. I think that Solicitor Wright and I do have an approach that will result in you probably doing more testing of information than you've had to do in the last few years. But if it comes down to it, you have the right to conduct your own inquiries through hearings, and that may be the route you have to take. In the past, we've done that. And they haven't been as, I wouldn't anticipate them being as intense as some of them as you've done in the past. It's a different purpose, but it would be truly background. And that may be the route we have to take, apply some pressure to that. That's no secret. They know what we know. We know what we can do. And it's time now. And they're either going to do that or we're going to take another approach. It's not, this administration has not been transparent. They have not been cooperative. They have not assisted this board in fulfilling your chartered mission, your mandate from the people. They have not enabled. They have said that they were cooperative. They have said that they are transparent. They are not. So hopefully Solicitor Wright and I will be able to do something next week. Tomorrow.
Exactly. Next week.
Yeah.
How many times have they spoken?
Oh, 3, 4.
Yes, I'm probably,
Yeah.
I lost track.
Yeah, they're not serious about it, Mr. Davis. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
Or they're scheduled, 90 days out, and then, the bigger issue is the delay of scheduling so far out and then rescheduling, the eval for the day before. And you've already waited 3 months.
Yep. Antagonistic.
Is there a period of time where they can't push it down?
They can do whatever they want. Although, fully cognizant that in November, there will be some decisive action by the people of the city. And that will tell us where we're going come January. In terms of what administration and what approach that administration will be taking with managing the city. So there's no date certain other than swearing in of the new mayor in January.
Is our feeling that it'll be canceled again tomorrow?
No, I don't think so. I think, I think we're both hopeful that it's gonna go forward. I mean, I think everybody's entitled to, or, not entitled to, but wants a resolution, and so we'll work toward a resolution. Needless endeavors, but as Beth said, there's a mandate here, we have to do what we have to do to get what we need and to do the job, so hopefully there's a resolution for it too.
And the board, you've always taken the approach of respect and, common cause. And we've been successful in the past with that approach. But unfortunately, I can't say that that's working. It hasn't. I mean, we all the years' work that the board has put into creating agreements and protocols and all of that. Questions for me, I think, oh, yeah, I think that's it for me.
Do we have any unfinished business members? Hearing none? How about some old business? Don't think we have any. Would anybody like to introduce any new business, but recall that we cannot deliberate on it, but we can introduce? Hearing none. Let's go to case review. It's a short list tonight. We have no public hearings, and we have one for full investigation, and that's number 133-25 ED. Do I have a motion? Make a motion. 1, 2, second. Second. Discussion. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I have it. Then we have 3 for a 30-day extension of full investigation, and that's case number 095-25, 089-25, and 085-25. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second? Second. All discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have none unfounded and none unsustainable, but we have one other. And that is case 7-24. Do I have a motion? Two, second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We have 2 for suspended, case number 045-25 and case number 027-25. Do I have a motion? Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. And then again, we have 25 for continued suspension. You know, the summary for providing upon request. Beth, you said you're gonna try to clear some of these up over the
Yes,
August.
yes.
The announcement is, of course, we do not meet in August, but we will meet again in September at 6 o'clock. And we're going back to county, city council chamber in Grand Street. And again, for those who can't make it or the public, it will be Zoom.
Madam Chair, that will also include an opportunity for people to come forth and discuss give you information about their religious courteous encounter with the city of Pittsburgh police officers.
That's right. So that's it. We'll do that all, or are we gonna do a number of them, or?
Well, we don't have that many, so I wouldn't expect that you're gonna have 10 people. You might have 5.
Five. Great. Public comment. Now, we have not seen the Ozarks in a while. But welcome. And,
Thank you.
Did anybody sign?
Nobody's in the audience. Nope,
Sign in?
nope.
Who wants to speak to us today?
I know, right?
I would like to take, on behalf of the staff, your staff, to thank Ms. Shields for hosting us tonight.
Thank you.
And to congratulate them.
In the new gig.
What?
Are these your new gigs?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
It is very nice.
and to congratulate you for continuing to receive the grants that will enable you to continue your worthy work and empowerment with youth. Fantastic building. and the other work you're doing, including that with the seniors, and we really appreciate you hosting us tonight. And we'd like to come back another time too.
Yeah, it's great. It'll be better next.
Yeah.
It's that, a shop, right?
It used to be a grocery shop, a used to have
Yeah.
a church,
And then there was clothing, right?
back here.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I remember being in here looking at the clothes.
Nice.
It's a great place. Hazelwood's coming alive.
It is. It's looking good.
And if anybody's interested, August the 16th, we're having a back to school class down at Hazelwood Green. And, we're having live entertainment, live DJ, stuff for kids, free food, hundreds of resources. So we're interested, come down, it starts at 2 o'clock. Gonna be lit.
Okay. I get
Okay,
It's usually Labor Day weekend and they moved it up.
that's okay.
Yeah, I told her I wasn't sure we'd make it this time. Definitely in the next one.
We have some great concerts. Hearing nothing, this meeting is adjourned at 6:29 p.m.
Bye, Mr. Cutler.
Bye, everybody. I'll see you downtown in September.